Texas Republicans introduced 17 bills targeting the LGBTQ plus community in one day. We talked about the Republican platform back when it was released in late spring, summer. And we talked about how they were going to come after the LGBTQ plus community. They were waging war on the LGBTQ plus community. And this is a clear manifestation of that. They are coming after queer individuals with no remorse whatsoever. With Greg Abbott having won re-election, these legislators are emboldened to think that they can continue to push forward with this. We have multiple court cases still being resolved over the commands that Greg Abbott gave to the Department of Family and Protective Services. We are looking at a state that is actively going after trans people. And one of the worst bills to come out of that packet was this. House Bill 643 would redefine any alcohol-serving venue that hosts drag or transgender performers as a sexually oriented business. Listen to that again. Any alcohol-serving venue that would host drag or transgender performers would be labeled a sexually oriented business. This would allow venues to face criminal penalties and possibly be shut down if they allow children to view any performance in which a performer exhibits a gender identity that is different than the performer's gender assigned at birth. It would punish theaters, sports venues, restaurants if those venues feature a trans performer, or they have a film or a photo of a person wearing clothes not associated with their sex assigned at birth. Venue owners who allow minors to view such performances would be charged with a Class A misdemeanor and receive a fine of up to $4,000 and a jail sentence of up to 1 year. The representative, Jared Patterson, who brought this bill forward, said, "We aren't saying you can't have drag shows. We are saying that if you do, you should be treated as a sexually oriented business. No child should be subjected to these types of businesses." One of the reasons why this is a concern is because the way that the law is written states that if a person is wearing clothing that is not suited to their gender identity they were assigned or identified with at birth, and what they're doing could be seen as a performance, that is sexually oriented. It could be an individual fully dressed, talking to a camera in another state. In Texas, they're watching this. And if there just happened to be alcohol served in that place and kids were present, let's say we got big enough and we were on the news, it would basically be a violation of this. I was talking with our friend Marla about this. Marla, who is an actress in theater. It would strike at festivals, and it would just think of Ren fairs, Renaissance festivals, any of those times that we see individuals coming out and just enjoying one another. What about Comic-Cons? See, this is going to impact people on a significant level because it is severely restricting rights based upon the perception of, are the clothes you wearing fitting for the gender that we think you should have? Texas also wants to set up book rating systems for school libraries. A state-mandated rating system, which would have to include state-approved, age-appropriate ratings on the cover of books sold to public and open enrollment charter schools. State agencies would be allowed to request changes to the ratings, with publishers who do not comply potentially being blacklisted. So essentially, that if you don't follow their rating system, you get blackballed. And then we have this from the Keller Independent School District. During a meeting on last Monday, the school board voted to ban any book that mentions gender fluid characters or descriptions and discussions of the term from all schools. Library books that mention gender fluidity were banned 4-3 by the school board. The public comments section lasted 3 hours. 70 speakers spoke. The definition of gender fluidity was included with pornographic and obscene descriptions and definitions. One activist, Christopher Tackett, said, "You're not just banning college-level books about gender theory. You're banning books that simply depict trans and non-binary characters." That is what it's going down to. It's not even ideology. It is the representation of transgender people, non-binary people. So we're looking at some strange, weird, dystopian world where even representation of trans or non-binary characters are a threat to children.